months I've been painstakingly trying to get at least one of my 350Zs working. And today's the day, hopefully, that this engine goes in, and fingers crossed in this video we can get a first start. So this all started when I bought a crash damaged silver 350Z. I bought that car thinking I could save it from the scrapyard, but when I took it apart it was obvious the damage was far worse than I thought. The engine seemed decent enough, so instead of doing the sensible thing of cutting my losses, I went and bought another one. The orange one had a much better shell than the silver one, so the plan was to remove the engine out of both, swap them over, and hopefully get one working Z. But with the good engine out, it was the perfect time to do some preventative maintenance and do some gentle mods just to add a little bit of color to the engine too. Okay, ready, yeah. Steady, go.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
What's that?
Hey! Look at that! Engine is pretty much in. So this engine and transmission is finally back in and it's all bolted up, but just need to reconnect all the wiring, all the coolant hoses. Hopefully I can remember how everything goes, so let's cue the time lapse. It was just a few weeks ago when I took this engine out, so luckily I think I remember how most of it goes back together. You know, I still have to pinch myself as I can't believe I'm doing an engine swap, let alone on one of my all-time favorite dream cars. I'm just really hoping that this all works out. So once I get the accessories like the AC compressor and the power steering pump bolted in, I could put some new belts on and start turning the engine over by hand. Then I can route the engine harness back through the firewall, and then I can start rebuilding the front end of this car, starting with the radiator cowling. Thinking about it, it probably would have been quicker if I fit the radiator, AC condenser, and the fans onto the radiator cowling before putting it back onto the car. But hindsight's 2020, but if I ever get to rebuild the silver car, I'll do it then. Now it's time to put this dreaded high pressure AC line. This was a right headache to take off, so let's put that one back in now. This high pressure AC line was really tough to remove from the silver engine, and it's proving to be just as awkward when putting it back into this engine bay. The original one was damaged and leaking, and these cost about 200 quid used, so Marcus and I are trying to be really careful not to bend or damage anything. Okay, we're making really good progress. Managed to get a lot of stuff on. Radiator, rat pack, everything is sorted. Washer bottles are on, horn, bonnet latch. Now I just need to put the crash bar, but I think for these washer hoses, they need to go through the crash bar. So I'm just gonna figure out, line everything up, and let's put that one on. Then we can move on to the next thing, and we're one step closer to getting this engine running. Hopefully. If you've been enjoying this video so far, now would be a great time to hit that subscribe button. Okay, crash bar is on. This is starting to look like a car again. The next part, our headlights. I also decided to borrow these from the silver car because they were in much better condition. There we go, one beautiful headlight is in. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Look at that, headlights are in. I mean, we're really making really good progress. There's not really much left to do now. Just gonna jump in, reconnect the gear knob, then what's left? A couple of braces under the car, and then we just need to top over fluids. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, once we get the battery in, this thing is gonna crank over. Okay, we're getting there, we're so close. I really hope this works. I really hope this works. Anyway, let's not waste any time, let's just keep going. Before I can put back the interior trim, just need to put this rubber boot over the gear knob with this bracket, and then just bolt down the 4 bolts holding it in place. There we go, beautiful. Now, let's put this back. The next thing was to put the gear knob back, but I'm not going to use this because this looks a bit tired. From the silver car, I'm also going to take this one. This looks a lot better. LW, I think this stands for likewise. And the upgrades on this car continue, but luckily I didn't have to buy this one. Gosh, I don't know how many times you have to turn this thing, come on. Just a few more, but I guess you really don't want this thing coming off when you're driving. Perfect. Beautiful. That looks a lot better. We're getting really close to getting this engine started. All we have to do is just pop the airbox back in and top it up with some fluids. So we got engine oil, coolant, this is for the transmission, and some power steering. Put the battery back in and fingers crossed we can get this thing running. I'm so excited. Let's go. Let's start with engine oil. 4.9 liters going in. And then goes in the coolant, but I'm only putting a bit in now because I'm gonna have to bleed the system. After that, can just top it up with some power steering fluid, and it was this handy little nozzle so I don't make a mess everywhere. Then it's under the transmission, removing the fill plug, and then using my big boy syringe to pump in a whole bunch of transmission fluid. I'm actually quite nervous. All I gotta do is, let's just connect the battery. Hopefully it breathes life to this car and we can get this engine started and it sounds okay. Oh, my heart's pumping, but let's just crack on. So battery going in. This is gonna be the moment of truth. What have I missed? I don't think I've missed anything. Fuel's connected, we got oil, we have coolant, all the fluids are back in, ground wires are all connected. I don't think there's anything missing. So, let's jump in and let's see if this is gonna start. Let's do it. First thing I have noticed, I haven't even turned the key, but there is power. The indicators are flashing. So let's jump inside and let's see if this bad boy will live. Oh, it's toasty in here. All right, let's turn the indicators off. I just gotta say, this has been months in the making. Sleepless nights. Let's just send it. All right, let's see if there's power. I hear a lot. I think I heard the fuel pump prime. Okay, there's power. Right. So look, oh, clutch has gone down. Oh. Clutch has gone all the way down to the ground. I know why. That's my bad. I forgot to reconnect the clutch slave cylinder, so I'm just gonna jump back onto the car and let's do a take two. Take two. It's been reconnected. Let's see if this is gonna start now. I'm very nervous. Okay, can hear everything priming. Let's send it. Yes! 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 Oh, I did an engine swap. Oh my God. I can't believe it. First try. Well, yeah, aside from the slave cylinder, but first try. Yes! Ah! Let's make sure there's no leaks. Looking good. Let's give it a bit of throttle. Oh, that exhaust sounds nice. Yeah. Yes. Still looking good. Oh. What was that? Doesn't sound too happy. Got any warning lights? Oh yeah, we got a check engine light. Okay. Right, let's turn this off. It's not happy about something. Okay, let's just scan the car. Let's see what it's doing. Cause yeah, I'm not quite sure. Okay, hopefully it's nothing too serious. Okay, we're getting multi-cylinder misfire. So it could be multiple cylinders misfire check, improper spark plugs. I did change the spark plugs, but those were the right ones. Insufficient compression, incorrect fuel pressure, EGR valve, injector, air leaks, lack of fuel, magnet signal plate on the flywheel or drive plate. I did put that one back. Or the front heated oxygen sensor. You can hear something. It's like a whining. There's a bit of a hissing around somewhere here. So I think that might be where there's a bit of an air leak. So initially it starts and it runs okay, but you can kind of hear the RPMs dropping a bit and it's just not very happy. Right, so I digged a bit deeper into what this engine light could be. The codes that are coming up are a misfire across all cylinders. I highly doubt there's actually a problem with the car itself. Off camera, I did do a compression test, so chambers are working fine. What I did notice is when I removed the plug from the coil pack on cylinder 5, which is furthest at the back on the left side of the engine, nothing changes. I've also noticed that there is quite a bit of a hissing sound coming from the top of the engine, so I think we've got quite a bit of an air leak, which would make sense into why there is some misfires. Yeah, check the spark plugs, check compression, check the coil packs, check the electrical connectors, all on that left bank of the engine, and all seems to be running fine. Even swapped swapped them out as well just to see if the problem persists onto another cylinder, so it's always still in the same one. Only thing that I'm thinking it could be is possibly a fuel injector. I haven't messed with the fuel injectors, and the car was running absolutely fine when it was still in the silver one. So I'll be quite surprised if there is spontaneously a big problem with the fuel injector. I think that's quite unlikely, but I think it's due to the air leak. I'm gonna have to hate to do this, but I have to buy some gaskets, take off the plenum, the lower plenum as well, replace all the gaskets, just double check all the hoses. At least from what I can see, it all seems to be fine, but just fingers crossed that, you know, can fix that air leak. I think once that air leak is fixed, then the engine should be running absolutely smoothly. If not, then it might be a fuel injector. Now, even though the car isn't running on all cylinders, it's not running perfectly fine, I'm still so happy that I managed to do an engine swap. I'm no mechanic, I have no experience working on gravel on my driveway, you know, help with some friends. We managed to get the engine out from the silver car and into this one, and it starts. It runs, not the best, but it does run. So I'm gonna take that as a win. I picked up a whole gasket set from Tarmac Sports. This set me back about 75 quid. So it has the lower collector plenum, the upper plenum gasket, and a throttle body gasket as well. So I figure I might as well just replace all of them. I've been itching to drive this car for months, but if I can't get this air leak sorted, I might be in a situation where I now have 2 broken engines. Let's have a look. Where's our gasket? And there's our gasket. A bit of wear, but not looking too bad. I don't think this was the source. I really didn't want to have to remove this plenum because I'm scared I might damage the freshly painted bolts, but there's no other choice. So I move the plenum to the side, and then I can access the lower collector and get that out of the way as well. Whoopa. So I don't know, it's undeniable. To me that looks blue and pink. When I removed this engine from the silver car, I did find a broken blue and pink wire. That's why I'm thinking whether this is related, as this connects to the fuel injector, so I'm wondering if that could be the cause for a misfire. So I grabbed my multimeter, which I don't really know how to use very well, and checked to see if we're getting power to the connector terminals, and it's looking good. But just to be sure, I also compared it to another cylinder injector connector, and we're getting similar readings. We know there's spark, we know there's compression, it needs air, and it needs fuel. Those are the 4 things the engine needs to run. So the 2 things that either it's a faulty fuel injector, or for some reason there's no air going into that cylinder. Drop a comment down below if you know what's going on. I'm starting to get a bit stumped now, as I feel like I keep ruling out causes for the multi-cylinder misfires, but not really making much progress in fixing this engine. I thought it would be best just to make sure at least we fix the air leak, as I guess in theory, that could be a cause for the multiple cylinders not firing properly. As I explained earlier, there is spark and there is compression, which is good, so I think I may have narrowed it down to 2 possibilities. A massive air leak, or a problem with the fuel injector. So back on go all the gaskets for the lower collector, plenum, and the throttle body, and I'm just hoping that this is going to work. Change the gaskets on the lower collector, the plenum, throttle body. The electrical connection on the injector on cylinder 5, the fuel injector, is working. So hopefully it's just because of the air leak. Battery is reconnected. Let's clear some codes, start it again, and fingers crossed this is gonna work. Okay, no check engine light, that's good. At least not yet. Let's see if we can hear any air leaks. It does sound a bit better. Definitely can't hear the hissing that was coming out from sort of this area. Don't think it's misfiring. So still no engine light, that's good. Let's give it a listen. Still no engine light. Let's give it a few revs. For now it sounds alright. Let's take that plug off. So remove the plug. Okay, I can hear the fuel injector clicking on this would be cylinder 2. So the question is if I can reach cylinder 5. Yeah, it's ticking. Even though I can't hear the hissing and the fuel injector's ticking, we're still getting an engine light. I really don't understand what's going on, guys. Please, if you have any idea, please let me know. The fuel injectors, I can hear them clicking. There is compression on that cylinder. For some reason, when I disconnect the plug for the coil pack, nothing changes. When you do the same thing on another cylinder, it sounds awful. The engine's about to die. I really just don't get it. Please, let me know. Drop a comment down below if you have any thoughts. Okay, I'm back. It's another day. I've regrouped, had to think about what possibly could be going wrong. I've got a couple more ideas that I'm going to give it a try out today, just to see if I can solve this misfire. Even though I swapped the spark plugs with another cylinder, I wanted to visually confirm that the coil pack on cylinder 6 is making a spark. Okay. So we definitely have spark on the spark plug. Now, I think the next thing to do is I'm going to check the resistance on the fuel injector plug. So I'm going to remove the plenum again, and then to access the plugs for the fuel injectors. Hopefully I don't have to disconnect the fuel injectors, but we'll just do one thing at a time. But this is definitely not a spark issue. It's definitely not a compression or an air issue, so it has to be fuel. There's nothing else I can think of, really. So let's just check the resistance on the fuel injector connectors and then take it from there. So fingers crossed. Pray for me. Okay, let's test the resistance on the fuel injector plugs. Let's see what it shows. So we're getting 0.4. Now I was expecting something like 10 to 12, so not really sure. I'm gonna check on cylinder 4. Again, 0.4. And cylinder 6. Trouble child. Again, 0.4. Not really sure if it's the electrical connections. I think what I'm gonna do is, luckily I've got a spare engine. So I've got 6 other fuel injectors within that other engine. I need to figure out a way to remove the fuel injector on cylinder 6, swap it out with one of the old ones, and see if that changes anything. That's the only thing I can really think of, unless it's some kind of weird wiring issue somewhere. I'm not sure. I thought swapping the injector would be a quick job, but boy was I wrong. Well, that's not good. I lost a little O-ring. And this valve is open, so I'm gonna have to go have a look inside. But lucky for me, I have a camera on a stick, and that O-ring, it didn't drop into an open cylinder, because I'm sure that would have just sent me right over the edge. It's not the best footage, but I did manage to find it in between that sort of V section on the upper part of the engine, so I just got a long screwdriver and managed to get it out. And fortunately, I do learn my lesson, so this time I'm covering up the open cylinder so I don't drop anything else in there. And I can wiggle out the old fuel injector, and I'm sure that's going to be the fix to the multi-cylinder misfire. And once I replace the fuel injector on cylinder 6, I just need to put everything back again, but hopefully for the very last time. So still got same codes, just gonna clear them. It's the moment of truth. Let's just send it. Okay, it starts, still starts, that's good. Let's just wait and hear if there's a misfire. Definitely sounds better. Let's just see if there's an engine light. No check engine light, good. Let's give it another whirl just in case. Ooh, yeah. That was close. So normally it tends to drop the RPMs to sort of quite low, 300-400, and that's usually after revving it, but we still got no check engine light. Meant to redline it. It's definitely happier than what it was before. Still got a check engine light. I've been having a think as to what could be causing this engine misfire. Now, let's just run through it. Compression is good. We've got spark. We have fuel. I've swapped off the fuel injectors, and there's air. So all of those things are working, so it must be an electrical fault somewhere. Even though there is power going to those fuel injectors, to the coil packs, the only thing I'm thinking is, on a previous video, I did find a broken wire. So I'm gonna just check to see if that wire repair, it might be a bit of a dodgy one that I did, it might not have held up. So let me just check to see if that wire is still connected. So this is that wire here. Let's just see if, just give it a little wiggle. Oh, yeah. Okay, that might be the reason why. I think that must be related. That's the only other thing that I can think of. So I'm just gonna solder it. Hopefully they'll do a better job of keeping this thing together, and we'll just try again. Okay, fingers crossed. Hopefully this is it. I probably should have done this in the first place, but you live and you learn, and I've learned a lot. Like, you probably shouldn't buy broken cars, but I just can't help myself. This repair would have also been so much easier when the engine was out of the car, but eventually I think I did manage to get it. That's not the prettiest job, but hopefully that should do the trick. So I'm just gonna put everything back together, reconnect the battery, clear all the codes, and fingers crossed this does it, because otherwise I really don't know. Cleared all the codes. Let's send it. Fingers crossed this does it. Hopefully it was just that broken wire, but let's just start the car and see. Okay, starts smooth. Still no engine light, but it always starts up fine. So just let it warm up a bit, give it some revs and see. So far so good. So far so good. Okay, let's see. Ah, it's come back. I don't know why. It doesn't sound bad. It's at about 600 RPMs, which is where it should be. I really don't understand. And there we go, I scanned it again. Still multi-cylinder misfire. Not really sure what's going on or what's happening, why it's happening. I'm really at my wit's end, so I'm gonna have to leave it there, but thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, and hopefully we can figure this out. See you then.